Okay, so welcome. We're going to start with Parasha-Meditation, Parasha Toldot. And this Parasha has a really important theme that I named my Midrashah for women after that. It's called Be'erot, Be'erot Bat Ayin. And most people just call it Be'erot, which means well springs. And this is what, in this week's Parasha, Parashat Toldot, Yitzchak was digging well springs. And actually, he was redigging the well springs that Abraham had dug before him. But the Plishtim, the I don't know how you say that in English, except Palestinians, the Philistines, they had covered over the wells that Yitzchak had dug with dirt and pebbles and mud. And so the wells that Avram had dug, the Philistines had covered them over. So Yitzchak had to re-dig those wells. So there's a very deep symbolic about that. It's not just about like physical work go out with a shovel. The Torah is very holy. It's not going to waste time just telling us all these physical things that our fathers and mothers did. It doesn't talk about that each time they make a meal and sit down. So basically, digging these wells symbolize, there's many different symbolics. I'm going to focus, based on my book, Parasha-Meditation, on removing the blocks of falsehood, which empowers us to grasp the kernels of truth. Because all the other peoples, they believed in idol worship, etc. And only Abraham and after him Yitzchak had discovered the truth about the only one God. And so it's hard work that takes persistence to keep reconnecting with that truth when everyone else in the world is trying to cover it over. If we think of a modern parallel, we could think about all the advertisements that we're bombarded with, all the different emails and messages that we get that are trying to tempt us. I'm just thinking about this week we had Black Friday, and Black Friday, I have to buy, and I never have time to buy even online, let alone going regular shopping. So I said, okay, Black Friday, I'm going to get deals. I better buy all the things I need for the year. So I go online, I look for, the things I need, and lo and behold, I don't really find exactly the things I need, but instead I find things that I don't really need. And so all of a sudden my shopping cart is full of all kinds of things that I don't even know if it was such a discount. It's just it's like a gig. I don't know what you call it. It's just, and I realize it's not really it's something that's coming to tempt us. It's something that's this whole Black Friday thing. It's like pebbles and rocks and dust and sand thrown on top of the true wells. We don't really need so much. Consumer. It's like a blockage to actually get in touch with the real truth of the one and only God, spirituality, mitzvot, etc. So here's the pasuk. וישב יצחק ויחפור את בארות המים. Yitzchak returned and he dug the be'erot, the well springs of the water, אשר חפרו בימי Avraham, that were dug in the time of Abraham, Aviv, his father. והסתמום פלישתים אחרי מות Avraham, but the Philistines had blocked them up after the death of Avraham. ויקרא להם שמות כשמות אשר קרא להם אביו. So Yitzchak called the names of the well springs similar names to that which his father has called. So in a way, it also teaches us that Yitzchak is going in the footsteps of Abraham. He's digging the same wells. Yet at the same time, he has his own special spin on them. Not exactly the same wells as his father Abraham had dug. He has his own personality in it. So Yitzchak's spiritual work was to dig well. The purpose was to reveal and raise up the living underground water, rather than causing water from another source to flow into the well. The purpose is to reveal the living water that are already found within the wells themselves. So a lot of times when we're looking for truth, we already have the truth. It's just that we have a lot of things that are taking us away from connecting with that truth that are buried deep within our own psyche. And there's a lot of things that makes us insecure to not believe that we have the truth. And this is the lesson to learn from Yitzhak's digging of the well. Although the wells retain the living water, they're covered up with dirt, pebbles, and mud. But when we remove these blockages, and that's what we're going to do in this meditation soon, like working on removing blockages, this is what I do in Emunah healing, then we can reveal the living water. Then we can get back in touch with who we really are inside. We have all of it. We have all of it. We have the truth. And we know water symbolizes Torah. And every baby, at least every Jewish baby in the womb of the mother, they learn all the Torah. And then they wake up. Then they're born, they wake up from the dream, and then they forget all the Torah that they learned. But then you have to basically just remember it, because that forgetting is kind of pebbles, mud, and rocks, and dirt that are covering that Torah that we already learned before we were born. We know it deep down. And I remember when I returned to a Torah lifestyle, and everything was just, wow, it's so true, it's so true. I knew this already. It resonates. I knew it already. Digging wells and raising sparks to live in perfect peace in the land. Okay, so then there was a lot of quarrel over the well springs, because the Philistines did not agree that Avram and Yitzhak's way of revealing Torah in the world is really true. So Yitzhak had to cope with the negative forces that attempted to prevent his holy work of digging the wells. Although the herdsmen of Avimelech chased Yitzhak's herdsmen away and blocked the wells, he was not discouraged but continued to dig the wells until he reached finally Rehovot. That's the well that they didn't fight about. And then he called it Rehovot because it means now Hashem has made space for us to be fruitful in the land. When we fight, it's narrow, there's no space. He was finally successful at separating and raising the sparks from their shells in order to live in perfect peace in the Holy Land. Okay, so Yitzhak had to undergo much contention in the process of redigging the wells of Abraham, his spiritual heritage. So we have a lot of challenges in our life in order to reconnect with our source. But we shouldn't give up, just like Yitzhak didn't give up. We must dig deeply through the dirt, pebbles, and mud of our life experience to remove all the blockages that inhibits us from returning to the will of our holy patriarchs and matriarchs. The well of the living water, the path to reconnecting with our source, is paved with difficulties. It's not enough to take the easy way out and dig new wells, because only the wells of Abraham will reveal the true living water. You have to dig the same wells that were dug before. And so we can also learn from that, that's important to choose a healer. Like people ask me about spiritual healers. And I'm very careful who I want to give me any kind of healing, including physical healing like massage. I want someone whose energy is the energy of a true daughter of Abraham. I don't want someone that's been drinking from foreign wells to imbue their energy into my body and soul. So sometimes we need help from a mental and spiritual healer to remove blocks that are in our way. It's important to choose a healer who drinks from the well of Abraham, and not someone who drinks from the well of the other sides, which could cause healing, but it could also cause spiritual damage at the same time, because healing from impure wells will not elevate the Jewish soul. Okay, so now there are spiritual blocks such as negative energy, lack of emunah, faith, lack of tefillah, prayer. Emotional blocks include fear, trauma, guilt, and anger, whereas physical blocks could be caused by pain, injury, shock, and even lack of certain vitamins. So now we're going to do this meditation that we can dig through the dirt, pebbles, and mud of all of these blockages in order to reconnect with Hashem's light, which is reflected in the well of the living water. So be Ready? Close your eyes. Make yourself comfortable in your chair or in your cushion and take several deep breaths. Continue to breathe deeply until you feel completely relaxed in all the limbs of your body. Very good, very good. Visualize the word be'er, will, bet aleph resh. Inhale as you visualize be, the letter bet. Exhale as you visualize the letter aleph resh. Repeat this 4 times. Be, You keep doing it on your own. Okay, very good. Now, imagine that you inhale the living water into your head and exhale all the blocks of dirt, pebbles, and mud from your head. Inhale as you allow the cleansing water to enter your forehead, your eyebrows, eyes, nose, ears, mouth, chin, cheeks, and the back of your head. Exhale as the dirt, pebbles, and mud are washed away from all these parts of your head. Repeat this several times. Okay. Imagine how your breath now washes away the effects of negative energy, lack of emunah, and lack of tefillah. Visualize how the living water opens your spiritual energy field and recharges your head with emunah, unity, and clarity. Allow the water to cascade down your shoulders and arms. Then on the next inhalation, allow the living waters to enter into your heart. When you exhale, release from your heart all your fears and anger, pains and traumas. You may choose to visualize them as dirt, pebbles, and mud leaving your heart. Now envision how the living water continues flowing in your heart. Sense how the water opens up your emotional energy fields to recharge your heart with love, acceptance, and humility. Allow the water to cleanse your heart. First the right chamber, then the left chamber of your heart, and all of the blood vessels. Allow the living water to enter your bloodstream and purify it. Now visualize your liver on your right side below your rib cage. Imagine the living water entering your liver, purifying it from the toxins of injuries, shocks, and unhealthy eating. Visualize how the water of the well opens your physical energy field and recharges your liver with renewed energy and commitment to refining your lifestyle. Allow the well of the living water to rush through your entire being and remove all the blocks that keep you from being in touch with your divine soul. Now envision once again the word be'er, well. Inhale as you visualize be, exhale as you visualize air. Repeat this at least 4 times. Okay, very good. Now, let your breath flow naturally as you allow yourself to just be. Can you feel how cleansed you have become from your spiritual, emotional, and physical blocks? Now you can feel Hashem's light emanating and illuminating your entire being. Take a few concluding breaths as you experience the presence of Hashem within you, your own well of living water. So the word Be'erot means wells. I named my seminary for women in the Judean hills, Israel, after the wells in the Torah. We do the work of redigging the wells of our holy matriarchs and engaged in the 3 levels of physical, emotional, and spiritual digging. Through our spiritual digging, our soul gym, we expand the never-ending springs of our souls and allow the wells of Torah to flow outwards and be revealed in various garments. By reclaiming our yearning to express ourselves through gardening, dance, drama, painting, and song, we release emotional and physical blocks, thereby allowing the water of our living well, our holy Torah, to flow. Drawing out the well of letting its water flow outwardly causes the inner spring to open and expand even more. This can be compared to a nursing mother. The more the baby sucks to extract the milk, the more milk is produced within her breast. By redigging the wells and allowing them to be expressed through the garments of our creativity, we receive the ability to bring home the hidden sparks, even those returning from the furthest exiles. We gather women who seek to reconnect with their own inner source, Hashem within, and express their personal well springs in the colorful languages of their souls. Okay, so that was Parsha-Meditation, Toldot. Now, stop. Where is the